misconception about spiritual people is that we don't believe in God, and that couldn't be further from the truth. They also say that we hate the Bible, and that's not true either. What we don't like is that the truth has been misconstrued and misinterpreted and mistranslated over many years, and that's quite obvious today. How many people could just read the Bible for themselves and interpret it on their own and take the messages from it without the pastor helping you? Spirituality is depending on your own knowledge and your own intuition and connection with God to receive the messages that are meant to be received. To me, the Bible is like the ABCs of life. You know, like how we're in kindergarten and the first thing that we learn is our ABCs. That's what the Bible is to me on my spiritual journey. But there's so much more to learn outside of that. There are so many different concepts. There are so many different facts and things that the Bible does not touch upon. And so religion and the Bible feels limited to me because it speaks against certain things that God has told me is for me.
What's happening, fellas? It's JB2 Raw back in motion with another video, man. Fellas, you got to be aware of women like this. What I got out of this, or what she's basically telling you, is that allegedly, shout out to COJ, if you know, you know what I'm saying, allegedly, she's a witch. Whenever a person says that they're spiritual, or whatever the case may be, they don't really partake in religion and, things of that nature, certain ways of living, more than likely they're a witch or a warlock. Point blank period. I'm kind of switching it up a little bit today for this video. Every now and then, I got to get a little more spiritual. Every blue moon, 50 videos or 20, 30 videos, I don't know. I tell you guys to keep the Most High first at the end of every video, but sometimes I got to dig a little deeper. This going to be one of those videos right here, you know what I'm saying? Got to switch it up every now and then, you feel me? But yeah, man, it's imperative that you guys understand what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to each and every interaction that you have, not even just with women, you know what I'm saying? But even business with men. We ain't on the fruity booty stuff. We talking about business and, you know what I'm saying, friendships, all that. You got to be aware of your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? Everything inside your circle and everything on the parameters, the outside of it. You dig? I guess you could say parameters and perimeter. I meant to say perimeter, but you can use both of those words in this case. Two birds with one stone, baby. Anyways, women like this open themselves up into getting attacked. Women like this open themselves up more than damn near anybody because it states that, or it shows that they're confused. You know what I'm saying? Some of them might not even know what they're getting themselves into when they become this spiritual, witch, whatever the case may be. They probably don't even know what they're getting themselves into. They're just confused. But the vast majority of them, they do. I don't give a damn what anybody says. And when they open themselves up to receive certain demons and things of that nature, man, they're opening themselves up to believe in any damn thing. And people have to understand in 2025, I will hope everyone would understand this by now. When people say they're speaking about God or whatever the case may be, they believe in God, you don't know who they're speaking of when they say God. When they say God, they could be talking about their damn selves. When they say God, they could be talking about Satan. That's their God. When they speak about God, they could be talking about that damn tree outside of your house or the squirrel inside the damn tree. That doesn't mean anything when somebody says, I believe in God. Which one? It's only one, but which one? And even then, you really can't trust if they say which one as well, because it's, people that are a part of certain societies and organizations and structures that blatantly worship Lucifer. But they're in your churches trying to teach you something. Please, get out of here. We see straight through you, buddy. But yeah, just because they say they believe in God, that does not mean that their God isn't Satan or Lucifer or the devil or whatever you want to call them. By the way, if you brothers are, into the spiritual stuff, I'm a believer of the Bible. I'm a believer of the Bible, man. The God of the Bible, the scriptures, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you brothers are into that type of content, man, I got a spiritual channel, APTTMHJB. Go check me out, man. You really have to have a strong insight nowadays. Well, not really. It doesn't take a strong insight for you to be able to discern the fruits of someone, of their character, of their spirit. Now she went into she said something around the area of how many people can read the scriptures without, a pastor explaining it to them or whatever the case may be. The same little wicked pastors, quote unquote, wolves in sheep clothing that I was speaking about a few moments ago. So this was her trying to make it seem as though it's difficult to understand the scriptures. And the scriptures, one thing about it, they're not meant for everyone to understand. That's why everyone won't make it to the kingdom. You dig? It ain't meant for everybody. And it's funny to me how people always bring up the Bible. No other so-called spiritual book. They don't bring up the Muslims book, Quran. They don't bring up the Buddhist book, Hindu book, none of those books, just the Bible. She claimed that they don't have a problem with it. Then why don't you bring up the other books? That's supposed to let you know what's real and what's not right there. Everybody got the Bible in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? The Bible on the tip of their tongue. Everybody talking about the Bible. They're not talking about all the other stuff. And speaking of its difficulty, when you have a book, the most influential and renowned book ever created, it's going to be a little complex sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that are within that book, it's going to be a little difficult to understand. And that's for anybody. Like, I'll give you a certain example. Certain things were written thousands of years ago, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when certain things that exist today didn't exist at that time. Like in the book of Revelations, this is an example. The book of Revelation speaks about World War III that will take place. As we know, World War III hasn't taken place yet. Will take place. I ain't making no terroristic threats, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But it will take place. And John is the one that wrote that book, right? And he described locusts, an army of locusts in the sky. He was not talking about the bugs. He was talking about helicopters. This is a vision that he received. Helicopters didn't exist back then when he wrote this. So the best thing he could compare what those helicopters look like was locusts in the air that shoot out fire out of their mouths, aka missiles out of those helicopters. The fire is the missiles or the bullets. When you pew pew, it's a little spark come out of the front of the pew pew, right? Out in front of the chamber. Or when missiles are shot off. Big spark of fire. You know what I'm saying? At the chamber of that hole, of that missiles chamber, or whatever the case may be, whatever you call it. He was speaking about helicopters, not bugs. Another example, pew pews didn't exist back then when the book was written. It was used they were called swords, but nowadays those same swords will be called pew pews. Even with the beast of Daniel, they're speaking about kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? Like it's complex, but once you do your research and you connect with people that know the scriptures, that have been in these books for decades, you know what I'm saying, that know what they're talking about, and you do your own due diligence and research as well, and you study, you'll begin to understand it. But if you never understand it, then it's not for you. You dig? She's probably one of the ones that it's not for unless she repents one day. The Most High puts it on her spirit. She repents or whatever the case may be. Hopefully she does. But if she doesn't, it ain't for her. She's meant to be destroyed. And these are not my words. When you think about it, the Bible is a book of wisdom, history, and prophecy. That's it. So another point that I want to make in regards to what she said is that the Bible is like ABCs. But she contradicts herself by saying that because you just said or made it sound like it was difficult to understand, in which it can be difficult to understand because it's not for everyone. So which one is it? Is it simplistic ABCs or is it difficult? Because it can't be both. She made it sound like it's an introductory period, you know what I'm saying, to a higher understanding of spirituality, and it's not. Also, what I was speaking about earlier, 95% of so-called pastors, they either are Satanist or they don't know what the hell they're talking about. She went on to say that spirituality is dependent on your own knowledge and your own wisdom in connection with the Most High and things of that nature, or with God. That's wrong, because that would make you God and not him. Your own wisdom, your own knowledge. I thought he was the one that gives you the knowledge. See, that's the problem with people, bro. The Most High is not what you want him to be. He is what he is. He's the Most High. You can't make up a character in your mind about who the Most High is. He created you. You don't create him. Silly. That's like if you created something like a pot. If you was you did the little the pottery stuff. You real good at that. That's like the pot telling you or what he think of you as, or what it thinks of you as. You made the damn pot, but it's telling you what you are to it, and you made him or it. You gonna look at that damn pot, motherfucker, I made you. The audacity for you to think of me as what you want to think of me of, and I made you. Yeah, man, but as I said, I'm gonna sprinkle in one of these videos every now and then, man. Had to switch it up. Make sure you brothers ain't out here getting confused by these confused women, man, that can drop something in your food and change your life. You feel me? If you're not protected. Can set up an altar on you. Pictures, bury some things. And things of that nature, man. Candles, and you don't need that in your life, dog. But I'm going to say this again. Most people that call themselves or label themselves as spiritual are witches and warlocks indeed. You know what I'm saying? And they do hate the scriptures. What is a witch or a warlock? You might say those are people that are so weak that they have to go toward the demonic side of things to be able to control someone else's destiny. You know what I'm saying? AKA a woman put a love spell on you. She has no confidence in herself that she can make you fall in love with the true her without getting demons involved. You know what I'm saying? She's weak, desperate. She doesn't believe in herself. But yeah, man, that's really all I got to say. I don't want to get too much more deeper into it. Check out my other channel for that, APTTMHJB. And just like I tell y'all in every video, I'm going to tell you like this in this video. Same thing. Make sure you keep the Most High first. Stay up, stay strong, and stay out the way, man. It's JB2 Raw. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And hit them notifications, man. Until next time and all the time. Peace.